This is very interesting to say the least. We got some breaking news from the college football world today as Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh is expected to be suspended for 4 games to start the 2023 college football season. Allegedly, Harbaugh is accused of being dishonest during an investigation over recruiting violations. Now, this article from CBS also says that this was part of a negotiated resolution between the program and the NCAA. I find this very interesting because it's not like the NCAA just came in here and placed these violations and restrictions on Michigan, suspending Harbaugh, but the fact that it says negotiated to me implies that Harbaugh and his staff clearly knew they were doing something and they're trying to negotiate with the NCAA to get the minimal penalty possible for this. Now again, this news literally just broke like a little over an hour ago, so we still don't have all the details and the full story yet, but regardless, this is not looking too good for Michigan. This recruiting investigation stems back to 2021, and the investigation found that the Michigan football staff had meetings with 2 recruits during the COVID-19 dead period. And for those of you that aren't familiar with what a dead period is, it's just a period of time where you're not allowed to contact recruits. Along with these meetings the Michigan staff had with these players, it was also discovered that they were texting a recruit outside of an allowable time period, having analysts perform on-field coaching duties during practice, and having coaches watching players work out via Zoom. This is all coming from a Yahoo Sports report. These recruiting violations are a level 2 offense according to the NCAA. And again, this is what I just talked about with reaching out to recruits during that COVID dead period. So all of that is level 2 violation, and that is not the highest violation on the NCAA. This results in minimal penalties, and right now we have a 4-game suspension. So it doesn't seem that bad, right? Just a level 2 violation, Harbaugh suspended for 4 games that are pretty much easy games to start off the season. The whole thing will get overblown and everyone will forget about it, right? Well, not so fast, because this is where things start to get really interesting. So right now we know that Harbaugh's impending suspension is centered on an NCAA investigation into the recruiting violations committed by him and Wolverine staff members. However, on top of this, the NCAA enforcement staff also alleged that Harbaugh was dishonest about the recruiting violations in his initial meetings with investigators. A quick resolution broke down in January after Harbaugh refused to admit that he lied to the NCAA staff. So not only are there these recruiting violations, but the NCAA is also accusing Harbaugh of being dishonest, and Harbaugh is denying that he was dishonest. The next line here, it says the 59-year-old coach has maintained he didn't recall the events when first speaking with investigators, but that he was never purposefully dishonest. So there's obviously something fishy going up here, and Harbaugh is not telling NCAA the true story, or they're really trying to hide something up. Now, this whole deal of Harbaugh being dishonest and Harbaugh refusing that he was dishonest, this could lead to a level 1 violation, which can result in more suspension and in some cases grounds for dismissal. So if there's more information that is undercovered and this whole deal about the NCAA accusing Harbaugh of being dishonest, if that is really dug deeper and there's more information found, technically Harbaugh could be fired from Michigan, and that would be crazy. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you never know. Now, most likely everyone's seeing this and is like, oh my gosh, Harbaugh suspended. But if the suspension does not change, the first 4 games of the season literally don't matter and Michigan will be fine because they play East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers all at home. These first 4 games for Michigan are essentially cakewalks and they're all at home, so Harbaugh being suspended really won't hurt them at all. Now, if there's further investigation that really reveals something about these lies here, and Michigan's really trying to hide something up, and it gets moved up to a level 1 infraction, that's where things could get really worse for Michigan, as Harbaugh could be suspended for more games, and there could even be recruiting violations put on place on Michigan for future recruiting classes. And as I said, a 4-game suspension really doesn't do much when you look at Michigan's schedule, but it can still somewhat hurt the team, as seeing your coach suspended just makes an uncomfortable feeling in that locker room, and it can certainly hurt the morale and chemistry throughout the team. But overall, if this just stays as a 4-game suspension as it currently is, I think Michigan will be fine and Harbaugh will be back for when they really need him. That's everything we need to cover for today's video, so make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments about what you think about this and how Michigan is going to be impacted. And I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, as it really helps me grow this channel and get this content out to more people. Thank you all for watching. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.